Welcome to the FOMC live stream. Once again, I'll repeat myself. Today's Wednesday, October 29th. We got stocks green, bonds a little bit red, oil's a little bit green, natural gas a little bit red, grains are a little bit green. Bitcoin's down a couple percent, VIX is up 2%, currently at 16.75. Give me 1 second. There we go. So yeah, S&P just been kind of choppy to lower. As far as my creens go, I've still got my original one that I had at a 10% profit, got to about 8% profit before coming back down. That's a 3 lot. I'm going to close that here before the data comes out. My one that I added, which is a 2 lot, I'm going to go ahead and hold that. So I don't want to take too much risk because these things are hard enough to close in a normal market. If things are going crazy, could be ugly trying to close. But I'll hold the 2 lot. Yeah, they tend to perform okay holding through. So anyway, we'll see. See how that goes. S&P getting a little bounce. I'm also going to do an FOMC iron condor, targeting the $4 strike 60 wide. I'm going to use no stop because I don't want to get spiked out and then it kind of settle in. Just make sure if you decide to go that route, you understand that you could lose what your buying power is that you put on the trade for. So enter at your own risk. Bitcoin's starting to bounce off the bottom. Indices starting to bounce. Before this recent drop, my creens were starting to get close to back to break even or down a couple percent, about basically where they are right now. So if it would have stayed there, I probably would have gotten back to break even. Got the data coming out in 7 minutes. See what kind of see what color tie Jerome has on today. I'll put the FOMC Iron Condor on a little bit before, a few minutes before 1 p.m. Central. As far as the long strangle goes, I'll just be watching price action and decide if I want to put that on or not. I may also take a directional trade if I see something I really like, either in the indices or a stock. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and close one of my tranches of the green. Well, I'll give it a couple of minutes. The expectation is a 1/4 point cut, but as always, depends on Big Uncle Jay's forward-looking statements. And then sometimes the market will do opposite of what you think, so you never know. It's like a box of chocolates. All right, I'm going to close this screen. Let's just get this done. You know what? Well, that's okay. Both of them just closed because I had my time limit on my bot set to 155, and so it just automatically closed the same time I manually closed my other one. So probably for the better. Let me get these posted. It's not really the design of that trade for me anyway. All right, so FOMC Iron Condor. Gonna launch that. Strike should be the 69.40 calls and 68.50 maybe, 90 points wide. So like I said, I'm going to disable my stop loss for now. So I am on the 40 calls and the 45 puts. Which looks like this. I just did a 3-lot. Nasdaq's holding above yesterday's high. Russell just below yesterday's high. Same with the S&P. Russell had a little surge there for a while. It was pretty weak earlier. Bitcoin weak all morning until this little bounce. Individual movers. Cat had earnings up 12%. Quantum names are up. Nvidia's up 3%, blew through all-time highs. CoreWeave's up a couple percent. Google's been strong. Got about 20 seconds until the boom.
Order cancelled.
All right, data is out. Initial reaction in the S&P is higher. Iron Condor is already up 17%. Fed cuts rates by 0.25%. SPX pushed up to yesterday's high. Not much follow through yet. And if I would have held my cranes, they'd be almost to break even. Down a little bit. Yeah, not a lot of movement here, which is good. Saving it for the Jerome presser, I guess. Iron Condor's up 21%, 23%. My Iron Condor, I'll take one off at 30%. The way I originally did it was I would take half off at 30%, and then I'd hold the rest until right before the presser. Iron Condor nice and centered, up 28%. S&P about a 12-point range so far. Back when I was more of a cowboy, Kelvin, I did 10 contracts, but I'm a little more risk averse in my older age. Approaching 30% here. All right, I'm going to close one of three. Filled at 430. That's quick. Quick decay. Now we're getting a little move lower. S&P through lows of day. NASDAQ down to lows of day. S&P, a little flush of lows and then bounced. VIX was going straight up this morning, hit a high of 17.02. Had a little contraction since the data came out. Price right back to where we started, but my decay has kind of paused here, still right at 30%. So if you're new to this FOMC Iron Condor, it's doing exactly what we want here. You know, the data comes out, you get a nice contraction in implied volatility because now the unknown is known as far as the rate cut. And so you get that quick contraction. And if price doesn't move too much, then you can profit quickly, which is kind of the whole design intent of this strategy. So working well so far. And then the long strangle is put on after the press conference starts because that's when we tend to see the volatility. And the premiums are lower because a lot of the premiums have come out, so you're buying premium after it contracted, and if you get a big move, you can benefit from that. I used to do that based on a specific time on the back test, but I've kind of moved to more just being more discretionary with it, which is what I'll do today. Yeah, I'll just have to watch price action. I'm not sure if I'll do it or not. I want to enter. I like to enter after, like if we make a big push up, you know, at least through highs of day, if not further, where the premium really gets sucked out. That's where I kind of like to do them. So we'll just see. We'll see what happens here. Jerome set to speak in about 20 minutes. Iron Condor still sitting at about 31%. Yeah, Matrix. It's on my trade plan. It's just targeting $4 strikes with 60 wide wings. Yeah, $4 puts, $4 calls. Yep. Yeah, depending on the skew, it may have a little skew to it, but if you want to balance it out, you could do like $5 puts, $4 calls, or something like that. Yeah, man, this decay really slowed. Still sitting pretty centered, but still up about right at 30%. So one of the Fed governors voted for a 50 basis point cut, and the KC governor voted for no cut. Those were the two dissents. I'm with the KC guy. Let's keep these interest rates high. I'm a homer. I'm a homer like that. It's because Jerome gave his boys the data a minute, 60 seconds before. It's like, sell premium, sell premium. All right, getting a little dip coming in. Can't find any buyers at this rate? Opt for dollar? Or are you saying when you buy something else, you need to lock in a low rate? Oh, yeah. So what are you saying? Nobody will buy your condo with the rates where they're at? S&P coming down to lows of day. Properties are flying off the shelves here and in most places. Really, over 60 days. I just heard of another person getting more than asking price the other day. Bidding wars still happening. Oh, wow. I didn't know Denver was cooling off that much. They were so overinflated, though. Got the World Cup coming to Kansas City. June, I think it's June and July of next year. Kind of want to buy some properties to rent out. I've heard some crazy numbers that people are. Well, first of all, we don't have the capacity for as many people are coming. So I've heard some crazy numbers about what people are renting per night for. My condo that I use as my office, they don't allow short-term rentals. In fact, none of the condos here allow for short-term rentals. Guess I could rent a bunch of, maybe I can rent a bunch of mobile homes. Put them on my land. I bet that would work well. JP's about 90% with the purple tie. It comes out in about 12 minutes. Throw down some double wides. Build a little trailer park for the summer. Iron Condor's at about 34% on this bounce. Yeah, here's my two cranes. If I would have held, still be in the red, but definitely better than when I closed it. I thought it was later. I thought it was later because they were down big at one point. Kind of early. Well, it wouldn't have been this early because, yeah, they may have been up nicely at this point because the Iron Condor worked out really well. It was fast decay like this one. At some point they were down huge and then up huge. Definitely kind of price still kind of chopping lower. Okay, so when's the press, or when's the Trump meeting with President Xi? Do we know? Keep forgetting to look that up. 10 p.m. Okay. I guess I got to stay up tonight and trade futures. You guys want to do a 10 p.m. live stream? So here are the earnings coming out Today, after the bell, Meta, Microsoft, Google, Chipotle, Carvana, Starbucks. Before the market opens tomorrow, Eli Lilly and Merck, Roblox. Meta hit an all-time high of 796, currently trading at 748, kind of mid-range over the last, well, basically since the last earnings announcement. Microsoft hit that big upside gap after earnings last time and then just sold off for a month. It's moved all the way almost back up to that level. So it's about $15 under all-time highs. Goog pushing new all-time highs as we speak. Chipotle's been getting killed lately. Hit a high of $69. It's down in the 40s. Yeah, right after it did that 50-for-1 stock split, it's just been all, well, I had a couple bounces, but pretty much downhill. Carvana's trading at 358, hit an all-time high of 413. Starbucks, well off of its highs. Got up to 117. It's currently at 84. I mean, that stock has kind of gone nowhere for years. Eli Lilly, oh wow, Eli Lilly is an $825 stock. Pretty tight options too. Less than $1 wide for $830 stock. Yeah, this is where I would usually close my iron condor. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Looks like it's right at about 33%. Filled at 420. All right, now we wait for Jerome here in about 3.5 minutes. Merck is trading at $86. Options, it's tradable, not great. Roblox, haven't looked at that one in a while. Why I don't have that one on my list? Probably because it got down to tiny. It's back up to $132 though. That thing back in April came alive. What are you guys trading? You guys doing any earnings? Or is the FOMC too much action? Too much excitement for one day? Oh yeah, IWM selling off. Tried to push through yesterday's high 3 times, got rejected. I may do an earnings or two, but I'm going to wait until end of day. See what kind of fire Jerome spits first. I would usually, when I was doing it per the back test, I was doing it 5 minutes after the press conference started, so it'd be in about 5.5 minutes. I have not put one on. I'm just gonna watch price action here. See what that's trading at. $30 delta right now would be the 69.20 and the 68.80. So it's trading for 14 and change. Yeah, so it's still 40 wide. I mean, we've had such muted action, it's kind of tempting to go ahead and put it on at normal time. We had a nice lot of premium come out. I'm looking at the 69.20 calls and the 68.80 puts. It's trading it right at $14. Jerome's on the mic with his bright purple tie. It's not one of those dark purples. It's nice and bright. It would be the 30 delta is what I've always done. Are you looking at the deltas on TOS? Are you looking at 0 DTE? Because the 6920 is right at 31 delta. 29 delta is the 6880. Okay, so it's for some reason it's picking up one strike higher. Oh, we did just bounce. Yeah, that's right. Yep, that's where it is now. If I get in this, I like to try to get in on a bounce where the premium's getting sucked out. You know, this bounce, you can see VIX coming down nicely. So you're buying cheaper.
In contrast, disinflation appears to be continuing for services. Near-term measures of inflation expectations have moved up on balance over the course of this year on news about tariffs, as reflected in both market and survey-based measures. Beyond the next year or two or so, however, most measures of longer-term expectations remain consistent with our 2%.
Be back in 1 minute.
Our monetary policy actions are guided by our dual mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices for the American people. At today's meeting, the committee decided to lower the target range for the federal funds rate by a quarter percentage point to 3.75% to 4%. Higher tariffs are pushing up prices in some categories of goods, resulting in higher overall inflation. A reasonable base case is that the effects on inflation will be relatively short-lived, a one-time shift in the price level. But it is also possible that the inflationary effects could instead be more persistent, and that is a risk to be assessed and managed. Our obligation is to ensure that a one-time increase in the price level does not become an ongoing inflation problem. In the near term, risks to inflation are tilted to the upside, and risks to employment to the downside. A challenging situation. There is no risk-free path for policy as we navigate this tension between our employment and inflation goals. Our framework calls for us to take a balanced approach in promoting both sides of our dual mandate. With downside risks to employment having increased in recent months, the balance of risks has shifted. Accordingly, we judged it appropriate at this meeting to take another step towards
Oh boy, here comes the boom. Should have put it on. Probably would have hit.
to potential economic developments.
Wow.
We will continue to
Had I put it on 5 minutes after the presser, that would have been 50 seconds ago. Would have nailed it. Moel, did you put one on? What did he say? Jerome spitting fire? Yeah, so I would have gotten filled at like $14 on this one. It's trading at 20 plus. Yeah, that would have hit 50%. SPX pushing below the expected move to the downside, touching yesterday's lows. Russell still staying the weakest. Blew through yesterday's lows. Yeah, I hope you guys got out of the Iron Condor. What would the old creens be looking like? Are you guys still holding creens? Yeah, it's ugly. If I held the two that I had on, I'd be down 11K. Yeah. Yikes, Savash. Here come the questions. VIX back up at 17.5. That's quite a little 5-minute candle here. Went from 07 to 62. 47.5-minute bar. Bitcoin, big drop as well. Let's see, what is gold doing? Gold is still down 0.5%. It dropped as well. All assets sell off. Oil a little bit lower on that. 10-year yield popping. Back above 4. Back above 4.05. Sorry, After Dollar. There goes your rate cuts. See what the big boys are doing. Tesla, big sell-off, of course. Netflix is still not down to lows of day. Google off of its highs, but just a little pullback. Big sell-off in banks. Big sell-off in chips. So we pushed through yesterday's lows. Now we're getting close to Monday's lows. If we push down, this would be another big push, but if we push down to Friday's highs, I would jump in a vertical spread. I'd do a long call vertical spread. Let's try to catch a bounce. Don't know if we're going to get that far, but that would be the first level I'd try to catch this falling knife. S&P bounced back up to yesterday's lows. A little retest of yesterday's lows and back down. Bitcoin pushed through Friday's lows. Back up to yesterday's lows again. Popping back above yesterday's lows now. going to take some SPY puts here. 0 DTE 684s. Oh man, it ran away from me. That order's at 212, which all right, filled at 212. If we push back above yesterday's lows, I will be out. I've heard a lot of people like Webull for day trading options, but I've never used Webull. I've never had an account with him. I definitely don't think Toss is the best. It's a little bit clunky for it, but works once you get used to it. Still chopping below that level. Yesterday's low is right there at the lower expected move on SPX as well. Little pop. Little poppy pop. Well, it's just the start of this candle, so got 4.5 minutes. I like to wait for the candle to close, but if this thing really starts bouncing, I would just cut. Google bounced back, almost back to highs. Tesla big bounce, back up to the previous low of day. VIX coming down pretty hard on that bounce. Back under 17. All right, may need to cut this bad boy if it doesn't reverse here. NASDAQ back to the previous lows of day. Bitcoin back up to previous lows of day as well. About 30 seconds here. If I don't see any downside, I'll cut it. All right, I'm going to cut out of these. Build at 98. S&P trying to get back in the green. NASDAQ is green. Russell up to yesterday's lows. Nice little bounce. Probably a little aggressive there. I like getting in right here. Russell, NASDAQ came back to previous lows of day. I think we see another leg lower here. Little pause here on the bounce.
There's a possibility that it would make sense to be more cautious about moving. I'm not committing to that. I'm just saying it's certainly a possibility that you would say we really can't see, so let's slow down.
Apple below yesterday's high. Google still hanging out at highs of day.
We saw recently some pretty big layoff announcements coming from Amazon and others. Wondering if that figured into the discussion at all, and you're starting to see the turn.
Google does not care. Long hair don't care. PLTR back up close to highs of day.
And secondly, some of the stress is starting to appear in
Maybe it was just a little flush and we're going back to all-time highs.
also that you're going up quite substantially, things like that. Has that started to become a factor in your policy discussion?
So those are both things that we're watching very, very, very carefully. To start with the layoffs, you're right. You see.
Oh wow, Crean got back to break even.
Announcing that they are not going to be doing much higher. Or actually,
Wow, that's quite a comeback.
much of the time they're talking about AI and what it can do. So we're watching that very carefully. And yes, it could absolutely have implications for job creation.
Did you check your shorts? Any on that down move? Do you have to check your shorts? If I was still holding mine, I'd still be pretty red. I'd still be down 4K.
I would say the same thing or similar thing. We are, if you listen to the earnings calls or the reports of, big public consumer-facing companies, many of them are saying that there's a bifurcated economy there, and that consumers at the lower end are struggling and buying less and shifting to lower-cost products, but that at the top people are spending the higher end income and wealth, and so much anecdotal data on that, and so we think there's something there.
Jerome seems like he's in a little bit of a chipper mood today.
So, Mr. Chairman, I want to take another crack at the further reduction in rate.
Yeah, he's seen the light at the end of the tunnel.
So, if a cut might not be on the table for December because of lack of data, what is the other concerns then stem from? So it's not lack of data as there was in December. It's not a pullback. What other things would be the concern?
Well, perspectives on people on the committee that, we've now moved 150 basis points, and that we're down into you're into that range between 3 and 4, where many estimates of the neutral rate live in that 3 to 4% area. You're there now. You're above the median number for the committee, but I think there are people on the committee who have higher estimates of the neutral rate, and that's you can argue these positions since it can't be directly. So, I think for some part of the committee, it's time to maybe take a step back and
I'm gonna trade SPY again on the put side.
downside risk to the
684s,
see whether in fact the growth, the stronger growth
684 puts.
is real. Ordinarily, the labor market is a better indicator of the
Oh, come on, don't run away without me.
spending data. That's the lore. In this case, that gives a more down-ended read. So people just have, we've cut 50 more basis points in the last 2 meetings, and there's a sense like
Trying to get filled at $1.15.
let's pause here kind of thing. And a sense from others wanting to go ahead, but that's why I say
I'm gonna go ahead and get in here and then scale in if it bounces a little bit. I went in half size. Filled at $1.28 on the 684s. If we bounce up, I'll scale in if we bounce up to closer to yesterday's close or the previous lows of today. No, I tried to use Active Trader before. I just didn't really like it. Or maybe I didn't give it enough of a chance. I have tried to use it though for trading options. Down move here. No, it's manual. I think I'll put in a profit target at let's see what $2 looks like. Yeah, $2. So if it gets down to not quite down to lows today, that would hit. I've kind of like consolidated accounts. Like I closed my Tradier account. I'm trying to do less accounts. But I don't know. I may have to check it out. All right, that little dip getting bought up. TSS trades, do you do a lot of directional trading? I do like those buy the ask, I do like those buttons. That is nice. Well, if my profit target right here, I can't move it. You can if it's like a stock on stock, but I can cancel it, but I can't move it because it's obviously based on an option price, not the actual stock price. I guess if I had the options chart up here, I could move it. Tesla just went green. Google, back through highs of day, all-time highs. $30 Delta short or long strangles trading for around $10. I'm going to do a long strangle. I'm going to do a 2-lotter in SPX. Filled at 1060 on the 9570s. Let me get this posted. Oh, whoops. Oh, wow. Oh, oops. Did a partial fill on 2 different strikes. Let me get that reposted. I'll post it in here in the stream too, so you guys don't have to. So I got filled on the 00s and the 70s and the 95s and 70s. $35% profit target. Hasn't quite got back up to where I want to add to my SPY put. It's just kind of chopping, which is not very friendly to the decay side of long options. Microsoft has stayed pretty choppy through all of this. Come on, Jerome, say something. Don't backpedal. Stand your ground. Yeah, my creams would still be red. I would need a bounce above about 68.93 to get back into that profit tent. Well, my long strangle's already down 15%. Shows you what kind of decay is happening, how quick it's happening. So if you're interested in selling some Elmos, if you can catch a little 10-15 minute period of consolidation, they're gonna do well. I, on the other hand, I'm looking for a move, preferably down. Bitcoin got it back almost that entire bar that dropped. S&P got back about half. NASDAQ got it back a little bit more. Russell didn't get back very much, about a quarter, a third maybe. See if we get any follow through on this dip. Russell has been the weakest. That may have been the better choice, but we'll see. Let's put in another low of day. VIX back above 17. About 41 minutes till the bell. Double dip didn't last long.
people at the lower part of the income spectrum were getting the biggest benefits.
Is that all you got, Jerome? Is that all you got? Watson, I thought you told me all gaps have to fill. We got 2 gaps down below in SPX. How come they're not filled yet? I need it to fill today. At least the first one. Watson's ignoring me. I don't think he's on here. He must have had to go do some real work. Russell's still acting the weakest. NASDAQ and S&P's dips are getting bought up a little quicker. NASDAQ back up to yesterday's high. My long strangle is bleeding. Need a move. Need a move. Downside, I need SPX to get back down to about 68.60. That would probably hit profit target. If we're going to go up, I need us to go to about 69.10, which is back up to yesterday's high. Jerome's still taking questions. Say he's probably done in about 5 or 10 minutes, maybe. Oh, he is done? I guess maybe my CNBC is on a little delay. Little bounce. Elliot, you selling Elmos? Moel, Elmos? I knew it. All right, I'm going to add more in on my SPY puts here. Had a half size to start. Now I'm in for the full 1,000. Filled at 86 cents. That's on the 684s. Keeps wicking this level. I need a follow through to the downside. So I'm going to adjust my profit target on those SPY puts to take some off at $1.65. Yeah, I know. I don't take it personally, Moel. Maybe we can both win. A little flush to lows and then bounce. Can you stomach that? Would you hold? Could you hold for a flush to lows? Yeah, it looks like Russell was the better choice. Definitely staying weaker. NASDAQ, the biggest bounce. S&P kind of in the middle. Russell's little sell-off kind of led the way last time. Let's get a little sell-off now. See if anybody wants to play follow the leader again. Nvidia is moving higher. Google's still holding near highs of day. Yes, in this case, the Russell's the mama. I need I need SPY to run after his mama. Where's SK at? I don't think SK's on here. Apple coming down below yesterday's low. Look at Russell. Russell was the better choice. Back down, almost down to lows of day. SPX back down to the lower expected move. Just below that, yesterday's low. Follow your mama, SPY. Follow your mama. Run after your mama. For those of you who are like, what the hell are you talking about? We're in a live stream and Bitcoin was moving and I was talking about Circle potentially following, and SK mentioned run after your mama, and I didn't know what he was meaning, but he was talking about Bitcoin being the mama and Circle following. So today Russell's the mama. I need SPY to run after mama. Bitcoin's starting to roll over. NASDAQ holding up pretty well. S&P back to kind of mid-range of this little bounce. VIX back up to 17.26. High of day was 17.58 in VIX. She looks like she wants to come down. She feels heavy. Just don't stop resisting. Just let it go. All right, so I got 2 lots on my long strangle. Profit target 35%. I'm going to raise the profit target on one of these lots. I'll just put it at 60. I might adjust that. But if this thing actually goes through lows, it could start printing nicely. Russell is through lows of the day. I'm trying to get out of some SPY puts at 165. They're currently trading at 155. Almost hit it. Don't bounce. No need to bounce here. So close to getting out of some SPY puts. Man, those little bounces just suck the premium out. My long strangle is turning green as well. Now it's back in the red. I don't see any stocks going through lows. Wow, AVGO ripping to the upside through highs. Google pushing new highs. Banks are still acting weak. Well, neither of us win on this, Moel.
But also, not all long stretches of treasury bonds doing very, very little above 50.
Thought we were gonna try for a new low.
More like these asset-backed securities and some commercial mortgage securities, which I believe the market is starting to respond.
Got about 20 minutes until the bell. 10 minutes till MOC.
Of Chicago office, and surprisingly, even some rumblings for San Francisco office. So this is a category that remains reasonably cheap. There's nothing super cheap in the entire financial markets right now. But we like, and then I would have about 50% in cash right now, because I really think things are very.
The Russell. Russell's staying weak. Yeah, I picked the wrong horse here. 68.80 butterfly. It's going to be cheap. Yeah, 70, 75 cents maybe. Maybe less. Man, my SPY puts got up to $1.60. My order is at $1.65. Now they're back down to $1.
I agree. He not only went out of his way to put some doubt into the December trade, but he noted that he was going out of his way to do that. It was pretty unusual. And it was in the prepared comments as if, I don't know if the committee agreed to have this statement said. Let's listen to what Powell had to say about December.
In the committee's discussions at this meeting, there were strongly differing views about how to proceed in December. A further reduction in the
Russell back through lows.
meeting is not a foregone conclusion. Far from it.
Bitcoin's still coming down.
Set course.
S&P and NASDAQ just chopping. Chop, 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 chop.
85% going into this meeting. And January is sort of off the table as well. It's actually it's more in January now than it was in December. The direction is down when it comes to rates.
Oh yeah, earnings.
Pace is something that Powell wants to reserve for the committee and the Fed, and how quickly it gets there. You could have listened to what Powell had to say today. Let me give you three things he said. Inflation is
What do I want to do for earnings?
they expect it to come down, but it remains and it has accelerated this year. That's one. And
Yeah, I think it will too, TSS, but it needs to hurry.
in that regard, it would appear that the Fed is close to the having bought the insurance policy
Decay is
job weakness. So maybe not all the way there. So there's another quarter out,
decay is decaying.
but the pace at which the Fed gets there is unclear, and it may be that December is a pause as the Fed tries to kind of create consensus around where they want to go. I'm surprised Schmidt didn't dissent last month or last meeting, and I'm also surprised and would not be surprised if there would be further dissents for two reasons. One is the lack of data.
I'm going to do a bearish fly on Meta.
Inflation rate above target is going to create the possibility or the concern that the Fed is off of its 2% target and does not want to be there.
Yeah, Steve, thank you. I mean, it certainly matches the decidedly different views as well that the chair underscored today in the
It's
battle.
got a 47.5 point expected move.
That's our senior economics correspondent, Steve Leisman. We're back with Jeffrey Gundlach. And the thing I wanted to talk to you about now is something else that the chair said towards the end there. I don't see a broader credit issue, is how he answered a question regarding private credit. You've had some of the issues around subprime auto, obviously, that we've all been focused on, wondering what Jamie Dimon said, there's never just one cockroach. You told me like 13 months ago that you were concerned, and this was out at Future Proof out in Huntington Beach. If you recall the conversation we had then where I asked you, as everybody was talking about, the prospects of a private credit bubble, um, you you said you saw one. I'm wondering whether you now see the first cracks in it.
Well, there sometimes is one cockroach. I mean, that Silicon Valley Bank, that was sort of a one cockroach situation. A lot of people thought that was the beginning of something, and I was suspicious that I thought it might be contained. Turned out that was the case. But we are starting to see weaker activity in the parts of both tiers of the credit market. There's been more than one sort of breakdown or default scenario that's already occurring, and they seem to be occurring kind of in a cluster. It's not like there's one and then 6 months goes by and then you get another breakdown somewhere.
Filled at 8:40.
Kind of like the layoffs are starting to happen in a cluster. So I think that private markets broadly have stopped outperforming public markets. That's certainly been the case in recent times. Public markets doing so well. I just think that there's going to be a liquidation that will occur in the next significant.
Oh, there's a bounce. I don't like the bounce.
Be surprised how much selling and unwinding there's going to be of what I think is an overinvestment in these private markets, both private equity and private credit. We're already seeing signs of some major asset pools that have got themselves into illiquid positioning because of significant investment in private markets, and they don't have any money. That was famously Harvard University back when they were getting
Right back to that level where we kept wicking. See if we can reject one last time. We've got 3.5 minutes till MOC.
interest and the like. And that's usually the sign of overinvestment, and the liquidity will dry up, and it will turn into sort of a liquidation cycle. That's my math. I don't think it has to happen this week. It's been a process that's been developing over the course of this year. But I think that's going to be at the foundations of the next kind of financial problem that we have in the United States, and perhaps beyond the United States.
Going for hero or zero on my SPY puts and my SPX long strangle.
Some funds that will allow a putting option, they'll give you a mark periodically on their private credit book, and if they allow a partial redemption and you don't see any degradation in the marks on the private pools, I would take advantage of that.
Meta getting a little bounce.
You're going to be getting out at better levels.
AVGO still at highs. Goog still at highs.
So I'm very focused on private credit being an issue.
Okay, and we'll follow that. There's certainly a lot of focus on it. You've given our viewers a lot to think about today and plenty of actionable ideas. For that, I thank you, and I look forward to our next conversation, which will be after the next Fed meeting, which now, who knows? Now what seemed to be a foregone conclusion, Jeffrey, is going to be anybody's guess. I look forward to being with you then. Thank you.
Yeah, flies are still super cheap. All right, we're getting a bounce. A little over 1 minute till MOC. 1.5 billion buy side. NASDAQ pushing, Russell bouncing, S&P bouncing. My SPY puts actually are still holding some value. I'm gonna give it another minute. It's right back up to that previous low a day. I'm not gonna let them go to zero though. I figured they'd have a lot less value at this point on a bounce like this. My crean, yeah, my creans would be, I'd be up $6,000 now on those two. Had I held, but I was also down 12 or so at one point. S&P trying to go green. Wow, big bounce in Meta. Right after I put on my bearish fly. Apple, big bounce. AVGO new highs. AMD bouncing. Microsoft bouncing. Goog pushing new highs. Got a little over 6 minutes. Man, these SPY puts are holding their value. They're still at 50 cents. On the 684s. If we don't start moving down at the 5-minute mark, I'll just cut them. Well, there's 0 DTE. The SPY, to the stock and ETFs? Okay. I was thinking it was the same as SPX. Not that I'm going to hold it that long, but does make a little more sense. All right, I'm going to get out of him. Filled at 50 cents. My long strangle most likely is going to 0. Unless we can get above 69.07 or below 68.60. So the only time that really would have worked would be if you entered 5 minutes after the presser started and caught that big flush candle. Three minutes to go. The 85 butterfly. It's over $2, looks like. Maybe not. Pretty close. I'll do a half size Mahomes, see if I can get filled on the 85s here. Filled at $2. Minute to go. SPX up close to 90. 90 or above would be a max profit. Back to 87. $20. Back to 86. This thing's jumping around 2 points at a time. Above 91, 92. Settling in at, looks like around 68, 90.7. So Mahomes hit max. Long strangle loser, FOMC Iron Condor winner. 2 green losers, 1 green winner. Day trades will be a little bit red. I'll post that in the chat here after we get done. Just kind of a meh day. Obviously no BICs on FOMC. All right, all. That's a wrap. Everybody have a good night, and we'll be back tomorrow. By the way, tomorrow, I love day trading the day after FOMC. You know, you get the news out. You're gonna have some big earnings come out. A lot of times you get some nice price range in some of the stocks and the indices on a day like tomorrow. So look forward to directional trading on that. All right, all. Everyone have a good night. Cheers.